Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. For a while, in the beginning, this story was actually pretty good. And then it started to wane a little bit because it just felt very repetitive. But I gotta say, as far as this Sheila and Bill and Rich storyline, they actually managed to bring it back. They managed to bring it back. Even with the side quests that happened in today's episode, which was completely unnecessary. Um, this was actually a good episode. So at first, Sheila is very sus about Bill's proposal. He's like, are you playing me? Like, what's going on? This is too good to be true. What's up? What's you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. But Bill sells the hell out of it. Okay, he sells that like there's no tomorrow. Meanwhile, you got Ridge trying to quarterback the whole thing. Come on, what are you doing, man? Don't drop it. Yo, keep going. It's just one of those things like, bro, let him work. Okay, stop judging my man Bill. You want to go in there and sit there and try to seduce this woman? Go right ahead. If not, just seriously. But Bill managed to salvage it, and she does say yes. And Bill's like, all right, well, I need you to sit there and unburden yourself. Now, to be honest, I felt like there was a better way of going about it. Like, he could have been like, all right, listen, I need you to sit there and confess some of this stuff to me. So this way I know, in case this comes up, I know how to protect you. I felt like that would have been a lot better than this whole Bill trying to play therapist. Like, come on, you'll feel so much better if you just sit there unburdened to me. I literally sat there, was like, why would she do that for? She could just, if she wants to feel better, she could just talk to a therapist. I don't understand why talking to you and unburdening yourself and your truths and everything like that's going to make you feel better. I felt like my angle would have been a lot better, but whatever. So she starts. First, it's this guy named Dr. J, which the way she tells it, they were arguing. Well, he threatened her, and they were arguing, they were fighting and stuff like that, and the dude just fell. So that was more of an accident than anything else. And she can always sit there and plead that out of court. So they didn't have anything. And at first, Reg was like, "What? That's it? That's it?" Bill's like, what's going on?" He's like, "No, no, no, no. I need you to sit there and dig deeper." And then she talks about a guy named, what is his name? Then she talks about a guy named Lance Day. And this is where we get into the Killer Bee situation. Here's the thing. I heard that she did that before, right? But, like, granted, that just, bees, right? But, they actually, she talks about how they argued, he threatened her, whatever. And she decided to, she knew that he had allergic, he was allergic to bees. So she put some sort of pump or whatever, and she talks about how she pretty much, brought some killer bees into his room and made sure that he wasn't going to be able to escape and watched him die and suffocate. And so right then and there, it was like a touchdown. Okay. She finally gave Bill something, gave Bill the incriminating evidence that he needed. So you got Ridge pretty much looking like, oh, Bill got the touchdown. He even had to sit there and give him props. The FBI agent was like, yeah, okay, we got her. He was like, all right, so just to make sure that we got this. So you're saying that you committed murder, like you intentionally try to kill this guy, right? I want to make sure that this is, that's what you tried to do, to unburden yourself. She's like, yeah, I sat there and I watched him die. And right then and there, he was like, oh, you dirty little girl. Or something like that. He was like, because she said she was a murderer, he's like, say it again. say it again. I was like, all right, this is getting a little kind of sexual. Okay, sure. And she was like, yeah, I'm a murderer. And right then and there, it is done. It is done. I'm very curious about what's going to happen in the next episode. Because now they literally got her. Also, she did confess to shooting Steffi and Finn in the alley. She confessed to that. The other thing, that was more of an accident. That could be, I don't know, maybe if the family wants to sit there and do some sort of like sue for wrongful death or whatever, they can do that. I mean, granted, they could sit there and try her for involuntary manslaughter, but they might already have done that. Um, I don't know if they ever actually tried her for it. And there's this thing called double jeopardy. So even if they did try, they might not have actually gotten her if they tried it before. But of course, the laws and everything like that works very topsy turvy when it comes towards, soap operas. But this one, and her confessing to Finn and Steffi shooting, that should be all that they need. So I guess we're gonna find out tomorrow. I know that I know that she's on contract and everything like that, but it's gonna be very interesting. See what happens tomorrow. Now, the rest of this episode is pretty much just kind of where it goes downhill. Steffi and Finn just make out and they talk about Bill and Sheila and what Bill is doing and, how it's affecting their son. And the same thing with Brooke and Katie. They talk about Carter for a little bit, but then they go right back into Bill and Sheila and how it's affecting the family and how it's affecting her and just the same usual complaints that they've been having about it since day one. This is what they're doing today. So honestly, to tell you the truth, both of those scenes felt like fillers. Now Steffi did was sitting there asking like where's dad at? Why is he not here? Why is he not here protecting us? So I was like, because you have armed guards. I mean, does Ridge know some crazy martial arts or something like that? Some crazy kung fu? Because if not, I don't understand. It really brought me back to the whole Steven thing. Why isn't Ridge here to protect you? Because it's not his job anymore. That's why he has security. You want to sit there and talk about Brooke's safety? You protect her. No? Then shut up. Like seriously. Um Yeah, I think that was about it. Like I said, even with those two fillers, aka those two waste of time and oxygen, scenes of Steffi and Finn and Katie and Brooke, this episode was actually good. So, highly recommend that you watch it. Yeah, I recommend that you watch it. It was actually good. Now, if you're one of those type of people that don't really, you just want to get to the meat and the heart of the story, you can just skip Finn and Steffi. Because it's like, half of the times, whenever they're not there doing scenes and stuff like that, it just comes across as OF content. It just comes across as OF content, to be honest. Then the other half is just them sitting there, being fillers. And of course, Brooke and Katie doesn't really add anything to the episode that you didn't already know about, that they didn't already sit there complaining about over and over and over again. So you could just kind of skip that as well. I feel like that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. But if I did miss anything, like always, come to the live stream. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sundays for members. If you're not a member, hit the join button. We have a lot of fun. I spill the tea. And we have a really good group. In both groups. We have a really good group. But if you want to sit there and get some tea and some gossip about some stuff. Also, there's a lot of videos that I will put out, soap opera content, that I don't put out, that I don't just put out just for, I put out just for members only. Just my thoughts about other characters or the actors or an actress or whatever and all the stuff that went down. So, I remember, hit the join button, $4.99, and it gives you a lot of exclusive content. Also, shoutouts. shout outs, and I'm gonna go back to doing. I know I haven't been doing the call in feature. Usually sometimes the conversation just goes so well, and the flow and everything like that just goes so well. I kind of forget about it, but I'm gonna sit there and be adding that on there as well. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.